back, or I welcome you back to Metro TV as I bring you Good Afternoon Ghana. So this afternoon, Good Afternoon Ghana will be taking you through the journey of what Ghana has gone through so far as road toll collection is concerned. So we have actually, been able to take off collection of road tolls at the toll booths for more than a year and over now. And I think at some point, drivers were comfortable just riding through tolls without necessarily paying any tolls. But did Ghana go forward or did it come backwards? This was because we said we were replacing it with e-levy. And you remember the whole period of dragging the passage of e-levy before it eventually saw it's having its legal assent, and then we started implementing it. But for the purpose for which e-levy was introduced, obviously, where Ghana is, it could not, benefit, or it could not achieve the aim or the purpose for which e-levy was hurriedly pushed through for Ghanaians to support government to raise money. So it has become necessary. The government says that it wants to reintroduce tolls, and so most of these road toll booths are going to be refurbished, but to a higher technological version. Now, is this going to see more of our physically challenged persons put in place or put in positions to monitor the activities of the payments, or are we going to be paying with cards, as people are suggesting? But those are all questions that are hanging. We'll try and get, the appropriate answers for you. But for now, Good Afternoon Ghana will be focusing on the journey of road tolls collection, from cancellation to bringing it back and the introduction of its new prices. We'll be back shortly after this break. All right, you're welcome back. Now, earlier I will introduce to you that we were going to take you through the journey of road tolls cancellation and what it has been, what the journey has been so far. Let's start with the finance minister, who said it on the floor of Parliament in the 2022 budget presentation, when he said that road constructions that has to do with the private partnership agreement is what we're going to be paying tolls for. Let's take a listen to him first, and then we'll come back with the rest of our story.
The Government of Ghana has made a strategic decision in line with the Public-Private Partnership Act 2020 to procure the Accra-Tema Motorway and Extensions project through GIF, with a mandate to deliver a GIF-led PPP financing solution where maximum funds are raised from the market, where majority ownership of the project remains of GIF on behalf of the Ghanaian government. The draft concession agreement between GIF, the Ministry of Roads and Highways, is currently under review by GIF, Ministry of Roads and Highways, the Office of the Attorney General, and the Ministry of Finance. When completed, the concession agreement is expected to be approved by the PPP Committee, Cabinet, and Parliament. The completed road will be tolled. Mr. Speaker, all new roads of this nature will be tolled. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Minister, Resume your seat.
Mr. Speaker, the completed new road will be told to recover the whole life cost of the completed infrastructure, as well as pay lenders and provide a return to equity investors. The government of Ghana shall provide funding through GIFT to take equity in the special purpose vehicle to be created by GIFT for the project. Mr. Speaker, PPP projects must be self-financing and they will be told. Mr. Speaker, significant investments continue to be made by government towards the development of a modern railway network. We believe in this because we know that creating an alternative means of transport, especially for goods, will ease the pressures on our roads and future impacts of global crude price hikes.
Well, so that was the finance minister. Now, the cancellation of the road tolls was not something that Ghanaians were so comfortable with because there was an introduction of another form of taxation, which was the electronic levy that was supposed to pay, probably known as the e-levy, which was supposed to replace the road tolls. So it was almost a close decision after the finance minister had announced that the road tolls were going to be, removed. Then the minister actually hurriedly ordered for the closure of all road tolls across the country. Now, he shuts these road tolls down, and we automatically, with immediate effect, without parliamentary backing, stop collecting tolls. As we continue to probe, one time there was a question when the minister, Chung, was out, and journalists asked him a question of what these tolls have become of and what we're going to be using them for. This was the answer he provided.
Refurbish all those toll booth structures to provide proper and decent washrooms, for instance, for the use by motorists, so that we advise them to desist from the practice that we see at times. You find out or you see cars stopping indiscriminately on the highway and people getting out to wee as we usually say it, urinating. You see men on the left, women on the right, or at times you see a man, a woman. It's all indecent. It's not a good practice. Refurbish all those toll booth structures to provide proper and decent washrooms, for instance, for the use by motorists, so that we advise them to desist from the practice that we see at times. You find out or you see cars stopping indiscriminately on the highway and people getting out to wee as we usually say it, urinating. You see men on the left, women on the right, or at times you see a man, a woman. It's all indecent. It's not a good practice.
All right. Now, when we come home here, Elvis was the one that led the team to go to the toll booth to observe how the condition of the toll booths were in. Here's a report given to us by Elvis Ando.
This place would have been very busy by now, with traders dotted around this area doing their usual businesses, whilst the toll booth collectors attend to drivers to collect their tolls from them. But however, the narrative has changed after the announcement of the closure of all toll booths dotted around the country by the roads minister. It's about 9:48 p.m. here at the Tema Plaza toll booth, and this is the situation here. But let's get closer to see how the place is gradually deteriorating. This is how the inside of the building now looks. Dust. Definitely the computer is no more here and it is filled with dust, as you can see. So much dust. Cables all around and the lights and fan nowhere to be found in this very toll booth. Definitely it is the same with the other toll booths here. But then let's get closer to Bismarck, who is the security here, and find out from him how he has been manning the place. How have you been keeping the place safe?
It's not easy. It's not easy because the junkers have been fighting me to live here for them to have chance to go in and destroy the things inside of it. And even with that, they have stolen many things here. And I've been fighting, seriously. Fighting. Oh, the other time there was a military soldier, a military man who came to help me here. He was the one. But now, because of that incident, now the pressure is now down.
Talk about they stealing some items. What are some of the items that they've got away with?
Those irons.
The irons?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the air condition. They have stolen the air condition too. And at the same time, you saw that there was no fan in there.
Yes.
They have removed the fan. If it was not you, I have not been going in there, so I don't know. Right now that I have just said that.
You realize that the fan is
the fan is not there.
We prefer the toll booth system than the e-levy because the e-levy is a cheat. We will all be cheated, and so we do not want it. The government just wants us to suffer.
This is the Ashaiman Toll Booth Plaza, and the place is totally dark. Unlike the Tema Toll Booth Plaza, which had a security man there, here there is no one here manning the place. We understand a lot of people have been attacked around this area. Prior to our arrival, we saw someone in that very building sleeping. When he got to see our cameras, he took to the hills. This is a looming danger for motorists who plow this stretch. Reporting from Metro News, Elvis Ando, Tema and Ashaiman Toll Booth Plaza, Accra.
All right, so let's now, that was, the states of one of the tolls he was reporting, that's Elvis Ando was reporting from the Tema toll booth, the Plaza toll booth there, and you saw the condition in which it was in, and it kept deteriorating till we're here today. But we're told that, the new one that's going to come up is going to be a high technological one. Either I'm not sure if we're going to take the human interference out of it, or we're still going to have humans sitting and collecting cash, or it's going to be fully electronic, automated one that we're going to be slotting or card, depending on how the payment is done. Let's now take you through the screens of the new tolls that's been introduced. When it kicks in, how the payment or the collection is going to, is going to be done, and so you'll know what amount you pay depending on the that you're using. Let's have that. Okay, so on the screen is the proposed roads and budget tolls that we have, and it says that road and bridge tolls. Okay, so we have the road and bridge tolls, we have approved fees charges, we have proposed fees charges, we have a rate percentage increase. Now, for the road and bridge tolls, motorbike approved fees charge is 0.10. Proposed fees charge is 50 pesos. And then the average is 88.50% increase. For a car, maybe a salon car, if you may, approved fees charge 0.50%. That was what we were charging before. Now, the proposed fees and charges now is 1 cedi, 1 Ghana cedi. Average percentage is 88.50%. Pickups, that's 4x4 vehicles. 1 cedi approved fees charge, and now the proposed is 1.5 cedis. The percentage is 88.50%. Light buses, approved fees 1 cedi, proposed 1.5, and also 88.50 percentage increase. Now, the mummy wagons is 1 cedi. The proposed fee charge is 1.5, also 88.50 percentage increase. Heavy buses, 1.5 cedi. They're now going to be paying 2 cedis as toll, and then 88.50 percentage increase. That's what it took. Now, light goods trucks, 2 axles. It says the proposed fee charge was 1.5. Now it moves to 2.0 and 88.50 percentage increase. Medium goods trucks, that's 3 axles, will take the approved fees was 2.0 percentage, proposed fees was 3.0, and then the percentage 88.5. So you see that the 88.5 runs through from top to bottom. And the heavy goods truck, 4 axles is 2 cedis. It moves to 3 cedis as a proposed. The heavy goods truck is for 5 or more axles is 2.5. It moves to 3.5, also 88.50. And we also have agriculture tractor, 0.5. It moves to 1 cedi, and also 88.50 percentage increase. And the last one is a agriculture tractor with trailer, 0.5 proposed. 0.5 approved, and then the proposed one is 1 cedi, 88.50 percentage increase. Now, that's how the percentage increase is. Now, if I have to share my opinion on this, I think I really, really agree with people who say that the percentage of increase is so minimal, considering where we are, the drop of the value of the city, and, the amount of money we need to rake in as soon as possible. And the case is as soon as possible. So imagine you driving a tractor axle, it's 5 axles and above, and you're paying 2 cedis. I mean, how? I think that the value of our money has depreciated, whether we like it or not. And so you need more to do more. And if we're paying, whichever we want to pay, either we're paying in bulk money when you are doing your roadworthiness, or you are paying cash at the toll, I suggest that maybe we can relook at it. I'm not trying to make you want to impose more, but the reality really, if you're driving a car, paying that amount of money and considering where we are, I think it's a little on the low side. You can also share your opinion maybe. But for now, let's go on back onto the screens and but give it a bite of Deputy Ranking Member on Roads and Transport Committee, Isaac Ajay Mensah, who spoke to Abdallah Mohammed, my colleague or the Metro Member of Parliament, that's Abdallah Mohammed, on this development.
That the Chief Whip has spoken in opposition. I was not surprised, because I know they will bring it back anyway, and they will treat it with the same impunity. We advised against that. Indeed, I still hold up to that position. It isn't a wise decision to have closed or to have abolished the toll. Tolling all over the world is done. We toll roads for the fact that we can get funds to maintain our roads, and that is why we toll roads. And all over the world this is done. And the recent introduction of a new technology, e-tolling, all emphasize the point that tolling is good, but the point is that if you toll, you want to maintain the roads with the money. That's the only concern. So I got astonished and surprised that the government, without going through the process, quickly abolished the toll. And I have had cause to complain and spoken about it in a lot of areas, that even the assets, the tolling assets, the tolling booths are a menace to society, are a problem, and causing a lot of accidents. because you see they stand in the middle of the road, and so where care is not taken, drivers just drive into them, and it's a problem. And so I've always said that if for now you have abolished that, maybe in future we will want to come back, maintain them, and so on. I know most of these toll booths have gone bad, but at a proper time that will be done. Now back to the point of the tolling again. The minister, when he appeared before Parliament and talked about the reintroduction of the toll, the understanding was that it is going to be, hung onto or connected to new roads under the arrangement, under the PPP arrangement. So if they build new roads, for instance, Tamamoto Way, that they want to get it done on PPP, or Takrady Accra Motorway or Kumasi, then they will toll it on that arrangement. So the understanding wasn't that it is going to be on the existing roads, because they've abolished it. I am not too sure whether the reintroduction is going to end up tolling the existing roads. We will live to see. But I will advise, and I want to advise, recommend, that because we are in financial crisis, we need money that we can use to build our economy, our roads, and so on. So if they have realized the error and that they want to come back, they should do the needful. Go through the process, the legal process, and make sure that it's done. Ghanaians will always listen, engage people, and if possible, render apology and come back, because you're in a difficult situation. You are going to IMF for money, but they want you to fix yourself, reduce your ministerial numbers and so on. So I think that it should necessarily be on existing roads. And that's why the introduction of e-tolling is also recommended. But it is critical to note, I have a major concern. And when the toll was abolished, people have overlooked that fact. The road fund, tolling is part of the road fund. We have the fuel levy, and so a chunk of the money into the road fund for road maintenance is coming from fuel levy. And of course, tolling is also a significant part of it. But we see for our roads. So the question is that, why do you abolish the tolling system and allow the foreigners to use our roads? These are people who come with these articulated trucks and heavy trucks destroying our roads. And so the Ghanaians are still being cheated because you are still paying the fuel levy to maintain the roads. So I would have wished that that decision was taken a second look. But now if it is coming, I'm getting the understanding, and some attachment that I've seen is that they are to increase the toll rates. The toll rates has deteriorated. The cedi-dollar relationship is bad, and certainly a year ago, one cedi is not same as one cedi now. So if we get it a bit ticked up, it's basically to restore the value to the whole state. That's not bad, but I think that they need to reconsider different rates for the foreigners who use our roads, because why can we pay the same rate? This is because we are paying, apart from the fact that we are paying for fuel levy and DVLA and all those, we are also paying for the toll. How much is a taxi driver, what effect is the taxi plying the road on the main road? The real problem or causing the challenge to our roads are the articulated trucks and heavy equipment. And most of them, are coming from the foreign countries. So there should be a consideration of the fact that there could be some variation or differences in the toll system for Ghanaians and for foreigners. They don't get it.
So what went into
the other challenge is that, the e-tolling thing must come, and it should be clear that the tolling thing will have to go to the road fund. It's important. The toll levy, whatever money that is accrued into this kitty should go to the road fund. Because my understanding is that the toll will be used to help maintain our roads. So if it goes to the consolidated fund and doesn't go to the road fund, that is a challenge. So I look forward to seeing that the road fund was to be catering for.
All right, you're welcome back. So we've had various reactions there from Parliament, but now we've had one extensive one with Kennedy Osenyako, who is the chairman of Roads and Transport Committee, and my colleague Bright Amini had a long one with him. So let's go for that interview. We'll be back.
All right, Honorable Kennedy Osenyako is the Member of Parliament for Akim Swedru, and also the committee chair of Roads and Transports in Parliament. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Good afternoon to you too.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Great to have you here. Now, I mean, I don't know how to call the document, but I believe you might have seen some documents circulating about the reintroduction of tolls. You are smiling. You've seen it. How do you react to that?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for such a great opportunity to have you and one-on-one discussion. Well, it is true. I saw yesterday morning. I was prompted to with the document that there has been a document emanating from the Finance Ministry to the Roads and Highways Ministry about the reintroduction of, let's say not the reintroduction, about proposed fees, toll fees. So immediately, because it was new to me, having had any discussion, we've not had any discussion with the Ministry of Roads and Highways, so I quickly have to call the ministry to ascertain the veracity of the document going around. But I think the Chief Director confirmed that they received the letter a day before it was put out, and that the sector minister is even yet to even see the document, and that we're waiting to have a broader conversation on it with the technocrat at the ministry, and therefore we should be rest assured they will get back to the committee for us to have an extensive discussion on it. So yes, it is true I saw a document, but I cannot call whether it's a big document or whatever it is, because I also saw it like you saw, so I don't know whether the ministry decided to put it out by themselves, or that I cannot confirm.
But is that not interesting? Because the document has signatures and all that from the ministry, and to say you are the chair and representing the Roads and Transport Ministry in Parliament, no consultation has been done. It's a bit confusing, isn't it?
Well, the Finance Ministry don't work under my committee, so they can't. Fees and charges are done by the Finance Ministry and the Finance Committee. So I don't know whether they had a consultation with the Finance Committee, or it's still a proposal. And like I indicated, the ministry told me that they have just also received that document, and they are now going to also discuss about it. So it means it's a proposal that came from the Ministry of Finance to the ministry.
So is it that proposals don't even have to go through consultations for ministry and for committees like yourself?
So now I'm sure now that the road ministry have gotten the letter, they will also engage us. But the finance ministry, they are not obliged to engage my committee, because they don't work directly under my committee. They work with the finance committee. So if a document emanating from the finance ministry, ordinarily it should have gone to the finance committee for them to look at it. But no document of such nature have been tabled before Parliament, so even it cannot come to finance committee. At best, they would have done some pre-consultation on that, but I am not sure about that. I'm yet to even ask the chairman of the finance committee whether such discussion, but we have been assured by the ministry that now that they have received the letter, they will engage the committee, and we will also share ideas on that.
Now, 38 tolling points in the country. Let's talk about the effect it will have on the economy if it's brought back, as the document suggests. And we are even seeing that the money should be increased about once an increment, 50% increment, and all that. Let's start with the 38 toll centers or toll booths we have in the country, and the impact we have if they should be reintroduced.
We will see those old 38 plazas that we have. Only 7 of them contribute almost about 80% of the revenue we generate from our tolls. So it means 31 of them only contribute 20% of the money that we get through toll plazas. So it tells you that those 31% don't bring much, but they are part of the toll booths toll plazas across the country. So if government have decided, I mean, they decided in 2022 budget to suspend it and to steady or to realign some activities before they come back. So if in the wisdom of the government, they say they want to reintroduce it, it's a welcoming idea, because we on the committee always have told the minister that anytime they want to reintroduce, they should make sure that they won't go back to the old regime or old ways of collecting the toll. They should find a means of automating it too. They have to make sure that the fees that they will introduce will be economically accepted and reasonable. Okay, because today, what can you use 1 cedi 50 pesos do? You see somebody driving a Land Cruiser which costs almost about $120,000, and he gets there and he pays only 1 cedi. And we want to fix our road in this country with 1 cedi. 1 cedi 50 pesos will be around about 3 cents. 3 cents. At the time that in 2010, somewhere February, when President Mills decided to review the tolls, okay, review our toll fees or charges, it was around 10%, 10 pesos for small card, and he sent it to almost 50 pesos. Even at that time, when it went to 50 pesos, it was the 50 pesos was around between 30 or something cents. Okay, now after 13 years, we are still where we are, trying to charge 1 cedi and 1 cedi 50 pesos for vehicles. If you look at the entire Africa, Ghana is the only country that pays the lowest toll fee. Not even Sudan. The lowest toll fee. And how do you want us to solve our problem? That is, so I'm not surprised that we have numerous challenges on our roads, because if you look at the kind of investment that should go to our road sector, we are not even doing 50% of it. For instance, this year, if you look at the work program, the budget program that the ministry submitted to government, Ministry of Finance for consideration, it was about 9 billion. Out of the 9 billion, they approved them, they gave them only 2 billion. So it represents how much? If you are looking for 9 billion each year, you need to get 9 billion each year, then you get only 2 billion minus the 7 billion. Okay? It means that things that we have to do at the sector, we are unable to do it. So I am not surprised that there are several projects or several contractors crying that they haven't been paid. Yes, because where is the money? You have done work. They have to be paid because the money is not enough. So government try to share it in a little bit to everybody to have, but it is not enough and it's not sustainable. That's why I'm saying that we need to find a dedicated means of, if today, through the road toll, we increase it to maybe 5 cedi, which by my computation, if we move it to 5 cedi, we are likely to raise something like 1 billion Ghana cedi. If we know we'll get 1 billion, and we decide to securitize the 1 billion and go for, let's say, raise for a road bond for, let's say, 4 billion or 3 billion and go and pay the contractors, we'll be able to relieve our contractors from a lot of hardship and stress, and they will go back and work and complete some of the roads that are outstanding or they've left just like that, unattended to. So I believe I'm happy the government is bringing back the toll, which we have always recommended to the ministry that they should bring it back, but in a new form and a new fee. It shouldn't be the old one.
You mentioned that you mentioned new form and new fee. You've spoken about the fact that the amount that's almost expected to be called, it wouldn't make any change. You're looking at either 5 cedis, or I've heard some people even call for 3 cedis, which is a bit less than 5 cedis, but you're saying 5 cedis anyways, because it can help in doing some other constructions of road and maintenance and all that. Let's now talk about the form or the automated way that this could be. I know that somewhere around Legon, yearly, 400 Ghana cedis you pay, and you get sorted out and all that. Is that supposed to be the way we go as a country?
Well, so if technology has made it easier for us to live, why are we struggling to put man on the box trying to collect money, knowing that man can even be tempted when the money comes into his hand? So elsewhere, how do they do it? Okay, so if it is an automation, you have the option of even buying an annual sticker and using it. Those who want to even buy on a monthly basis can also do it. Those who even want to do it through their roadworthy certificate as part of it will do. So there are various options that we can consider. There are others who don't even have the money to pay on monthly or on yearly basis, and that they will be able to pay it on daily basis. So those people, if they want to pay it on daily basis, they also have the option to pay. When they get to the plaza, they can pay. Those who have their stickers can pass. So it is a combination of let's say, arrangement that we can put in place to make sure that everybody will be covered, and those who want to take advantage of it and pay annually or monthly or every 6 months or on daily basis, we also have the option, because not everybody who have the money to pay it yearly, not everybody who have the money to pay it on daily basis, not everybody who pay it on monthly basis. So we need to have categories of it so that each and every one will look at where they can also take advantage of it.
And speaking of categories, I know 5 Ghana cedi relatively might be the higher or cheaper for somebody. I mean, a short driver who's going in a circle or Kaswa paying 5 cedi in and out, 10 cedi might be a lot for the person. But somebody driving V8 might be less. Segmentation, categorization, what should this be?
So on the commercial vehicle, so you can, if a private person is paying, let's say 10 cedi for, let's say, a vehicle, a commercial vehicle, one, there can be 2 approaches. One, they can subscribe maybe on monthly or on every 6 months. And 2, they will have a rebate because they are doing a commercial. So they will not pay like a private person is paying, a private user is paying. So we can look at all those aspects and say that, oh, if you're a commercial, which we have the data on those commercial vehicles, maybe you have a fee that will give it to you that you pay every month, then that's it. And it should be reasonable for them because of the number of times that they apply the road. So it shouldn't be a problem. All this thing can be looked at.
Now, let's talk about this other issue as well. I know that we are trying to make sure that we make money, you know, to be able to fix our roads and all that. Why is it so difficult that issues like this, we don't have, let's say, an open forum for Ghanaians to also share their views? Maybe we all can have solutions in our corner that we are. Road people are cutting the weeds by both sides and they are also expecting money and all that. It wouldn't be done if there's no money in the system. Road tolls have been scrapped in position with e-levy, which we're going to talk about later. But as we speak, going forward, consultations, what should be done to ensure that when it's brought back, it's a success?
Well, I think I share the same concern with you that we have gotten to a stage where in our country, in our democratic dispensation, it is important that whatever steps that the government want to do, it needs to have a broader stakeholder consultation to get. It does not necessarily mean that when you do the stakeholder consultation, whatever people will say is whatever you are going to take. At least you will disagree with most of them, but those ones that we think it will help the people, at the end of the day, that is what will be adopted. So it is important. People want to feel that they are part of the governance of this country. If we want to behave or act the same way that we acted in maybe 10 years ago, we'll be running into trouble. Governance system, the way governance are run have changed. So those things that politicians can run away easily with it in the last 10 years, you can't do it this year. You can't do it in this era. So it is time for, those who are leading, those who are running the affairs, the shores of this government, should be able to know that, well, where we have gotten to, it is important that anytime we are bringing some policy, let's dialogue about it, let's do some kind of, let's build a consensus, get the consensus of other people, and just polish whatever you want to do. But the fear, most politicians, because of the fear that people sabotage it, they wouldn't want to, they will bring also, sometimes those empowered also don't want to make that kind of, yes, that kind of consultation. That is how, but I think some of these issues, at least, even if it is not done on the broader scene, we can have a close group and do that kind of discussion with, and at the end of the day, we can come out with a position, because I'm not sure anybody will reject today. What will 5 cedi do to you, or what will 3 cedi to you? How much is a pure water? I'm not sure people will reject it if today we say if you are driving a saloon car, you should pay 5 cedi to cross it. People will not, why? They will not reject it, but they want to know, one, they want accountability of it, they want the transparency of the usage of the money. These are two things. So if he's paying, people can even say that let's pay 10 cedi. But we want to see how the money is being utilized. That is all. So I think sometimes the fear is that we are not paying because those ones that we are paid, we don't even know how you people are utilizing it.
Yeah.
It's a call for the government to look at how things were done previously and shape things as we are going forward. So if people want to see how we are going to use the money, we have to give them the assurance that if I take you 5 cedi or 10 cedi, this is how we are going to use it. And there should be a way for them to check, to cross-check, to find out that, yes, indeed, the money that they collected, they took from us. Yes, they did A, B, C, then we can see, we can feel it. So tomorrow, it is easier if you want to do just automatic increment that annually, automatically, they will increase it by 10% going up. People will not complain.
Easily accepted.
It's easily accepted. So I think that is the area that managers of the economy should look at it, and I'm sure respectfully people will also accept it.
So there's so many discussion about how these payments of the tolls could be done, not just going to the toll booth and paying the money and all that. It can also be incorporated in the roadworthy payment. Is there also an acceptable solution?
It's an option that we are looking for. That it can be part of the roadworthy certificate that already we are charging. So when we are going to renew your roadworthy certificate or whatever you are going to, or your car document, you pay, let's say, some road taxes in addition to whatever. That one, if you are going to pay road user taxes and we want to add it to, it's part of the consultation. We can discuss it as a country. That is how we want to go. That instead of the road toll every day or every month or every year, we want to consolidate it and add it to whatever. So when you are going to renew your car, but the issue now is you have to also find out, if you add it, will people now go and renew their roadworthy certificate? People will say we will not even go now, because when I go, I know I will pay, so I won't even renew my road certificate. I will be using my car just like that. So you are also looking at the pros. Both you have to look at the pros and cons of if you want to do. So I think we can employ a combination of all. Okay, can employ a combination, whether those people who would want to, so we can categorize them and know those people that will know at all costs we can get them. They will renew their roadworthy certificate. We can slap them with those people that we think it is possible they can escape. We'll find a way to get them. So we will not have one shoe fit everybody. We'll have different sizes to fit everybody. So I will be able to get whatever that we want to get.
Honorable, so we actually found a story. We make checks on some of the toll booths and their state and how they look now. Let's say if the tolls are reinstated today, the state of the toll booths appropriate for work to begin? Because I know that it's supposed to be refurbishment and all that. Somewhere around the Tema Motorway Ashaman area, computers are gone, machines in there are gone and all that, because it's been turned into sleeping place for some people, street walkers and all that. How much money are we looking at if all these things should be done?
Well, I'm unable to tell you. I don't know how they intend to do it. We are yet to be briefed by the ministry, so I'll be jumping the gun if I go and tell you. I have not been briefed on the mode in which they will be doing it. So I have to wait and see how they intend to do before we can make any comment about it. In terms of those facilities, whether it has been dilapidated over the years or whatever it is, I know once the decision is taken that this is how we want to go and this is how we want to run it, definitely they will put those structures in good shape before they will commence work. So for now, I don't want to jump the gun. I don't know how they intend to. We are waiting for the ministry to engage us. And if you have any kind of opinion sharing or advice, we will also share our observations with them.
But what happens to, if it's automated, what happens to, I mean, we are told that the tools are for physically challenged people, I mean, the way to also help them and all that. What happens to them as well?
So, because of we are looking for a job for physically challenged, so we won't adopt a more modernized way of collecting our tool. Is the tool booth the only job that those people can do? No, certainly no. There are a lot of places that if you think that they can fit and give them job, they can look for a job. In any case, were they working for the government? Those people who were collecting the tool were for a private company, because it was.
That was the interview we had with Kennedy Osei-Nyako by my colleague Bright Nana. Amini. Now, he's a chairman of the Roads and Transport Committee in Parliament, and those are positions he has shared. But what we want to wrap up with this program is a 2016 comment made by Dr. Baumia, who was very sure that Ghana did not need to borrow from anywhere, and that we could actually generate our monies from road tolls. And maybe, just maybe, that's where we are now headed to if we reintroduce our road tolls.
We don't have to borrow money from anywhere. Just toll the various sections of the road and we'll raise the money to do the roads in Ghana. We don't have to borrow money from anywhere. Just toll the various sections of the road and we'll raise the money to do the roads in Ghana.
Okay, and that's what we're leaving you this afternoon, and that's how time will allow us to bring you the various, the road that we've been on as far as the road tolls are concerned. We're going to follow through and so conduct some more interviews to bring clarity, or to bring to clarity how exactly this is going to be executed. My name is Sania Efwampofo. Thank you to my producer, Henry Kwesi Bedu. Good afternoon.